Hey guys, I'm T and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, we make trendy and fun crochet tutorials twice a week, and if you haven't already, smash that like button, drop a comment below, and subscribe to join in on the fun. What you're looking at here is a bralette that blossomed into something else. What was supposed to take me just a few hours actually took me a day because we kept adding more rows, basically until I was out of the skein. But I love the way it turned out, and if you do too, hit that bell so you don't miss out on other goodies just like this. So without further ado, for this project, any category 4 yarn will work, but I used a skein of Bernat's Super Value in Honey. As for tools, a 5 and a 10mm hook, scissors, stitch markers, and a tape measure. There's a written pattern down below. Use offer code TCDDIY for a discount off any $9.99 plus order. Watch to the end of the video to learn how to enter this week's giveaway. We're using 3 stitches for this project, and they will be as follows. Chain, slip stitch, single crochet, and double crochet. This tutorial is for a size small, but you can adjust it for your size, and we explain how to in the video, so let's get started. Getting this top started, we're first going to grab our category 4 yarn and make a slip knot. Next, we're going to grab our 5mm hook and start off by making a chain that we want the height of our waistband to be. I want mine to be 2 inches or 4 centimeters, so I'm going to make a chain of 10. Now that we have our chain, we're going to block off that last chain and do a chain up of 3. Once we have our chain up of 3, we are going to prepare for a double crochet and insert our hook into that chain that we blocked off, or the 4th chain from our hook, with a double crochet. Let's do the next one together. Prepare for a double crochet, insert a hook into that next chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and repeat, putting 1 double crochet into every chain all the way down. Now that we have our first row of double crochets finished, we're going to go in with more rows of double crochets, but into the back loops from here on out. So what we're going to do is do a chain up of 3 and flip our work. From here, we are going to prepare for a double crochet, insert our hook into that first back loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And put 1 back loop double crochet into every stitch that we have, and I'll meet you back at the end of this row. We are now at the end of our row 2, so getting started with row 3, just like before, do a chain up of 3 and flip our work. From here, go in with more back loop double crochets, putting 1 into every stitch, going all the way down. Once we make our way down to the end, do a chain up of 3, flip our work, and then do more rows of back loop double crochets. And we will maintain doing back loop double crochets until we have a width that fits around the widest part of our chest while it's stretched. I will meet you back when I have mine finished up, and I'll let you know the amount of rows and my measurements. We are back with our bottom band. I ended up with a total of 42 rows, and that's 23 inches or 58 centimeters unstretched. We're now going to seam it up, so after the last row, we are going to hold the 2 ends next to each other and single crochet them together. To seam up our waistband, we are first going to insert our hook into the corner stitch we have into the back panel, since our hook is into the front panel, yarn over, and pull through both loops. We are now going to single crochet. So insert your hook into the next available stitch into the front panel, and also into the next available stitch into the back panel. From here, single crochet like normal. We're going to do just 1 more together. So insert your hook into the next available stitch into the front panel, into the next available stitch into the back panel, and single crochet. Maintain seaming up our work all the way down, and I will meet you guys back when we have no more loops left. We have finished up seaming up our waistband, and we're now ready to do the first row for the body portion, and that's going to be a single crochet row. So from here we're going to do a chain up of 1 and flip our work so the seam is along the inside. We're now going to put 2 single crochets into each side double crochet row. So to start that off, this is our first side double crochet row. So we're going to insert our hook into that last double crochet and do 1 single crochet, and into that same side double crochet, our second single crochet. Let's do the next one together as well. This is my next side double crochet row. We're going to put 1 single crochet into there, and then also 1 more into the same loop. And we will maintain doing this, going all the way around, and then we are going to slip stitch into that chain up of 1 space that we did when we started off this row. I will meet you guys back when we have that done. So we've just finished our first row of our single crochets. We're now going to start our star stitch rows. We will start off by doing a chain up of 2. Next, we're going to pull up 2 loops from the second chain from our hook. This may be a little tricky, so we're going to do this slowly. Into the front loop of the second chain from our hook, we will insert our hook, yarn over, and pull through. That's how we pull up a loop. We're going to do the same thing into the back loop for the same chain. Insert our hook into that back loop, yarn over, and pull through. We should now have 3 loops on our hook. Next, we're going to go into the next 3 stitches and pull up a loop into each of those. So insert your hook into that next stitch, yarn over, pull through. We should have 4 loops on our hook. We want to have a total of 6, so we're going to be doing this 2 more times. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. We should have 5 loops on our hook, and then just once more into that next stitch, yarn over, pull through. We should have 6 loops on our hook. We will then yarn over and pull through all 6 loops on our hook. And to close off our first star stitch, we'll be creating the eye of the star by doing a chain of 1. And now our first star stitch has been created. Our second star and the stars after this will be done the same way, so let's get this next one started. We will insert our hook into the eye of the star that we just created and pull up a loop. Next, we'll insert our hook into the last loop from our previous star stitch and pull up that loop. Our third loop that we'll be pulling up will go into the last stitch that our previous star stitch went into and pull up that loop as well. And our last 2 loops will be pulled up from the next 2 stitches. And now we should have a total of 6 loops on our hook again. And with those 6 loops on our hook, we will yarn over and pull through all 6 of those loops. And just like before, we'll close off this star with a chain of 1. We're going to continue to do this star that we just did with each other, going all the way around. I'll meet you guys back once we have no more stitches left to go into. We've made our way down with our first row of star stitches, and now we're going to close it off with 1/2 double crochet into that last stitch. So yarn over, insert our hook into that last stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3. And to close off this row, we will slip stitch into the second chain that we have into our base. And from here, do a chain up of 1, and that starts off our next row. And our next row will be a row of single crochets, so let's get that started off together. Our first single crochet will be into the same stitch that our chain is coming out of. So insert our hook into that stitch with one single crochet. Our next single crochet will go into the eye of our next star stitch. So insert our hook into that loop and put one single crochet. After this, we'll put 2 single crochets into each star stitch eye until we reach the end of the row. So to do the next one together, insert our hook into the next eye of the next star stitch with one single crochet, and then into that same loop with our second single crochet. Let's do just one more set together. Into that next loop, single crochet number 1, and then into that same loop, single crochet number 2. And keep doing this till we reach the end of the row. Then we'll slip stitch into the chain 1 space, and then I'll meet you guys back. We have now finished up our 3rd row for our body portion, and we're now going to start the 4th and 5th row, and that'll be a repeat of rows 2 and 3. The only difference is that after doing our chain up of 2 for our star stitch row, we are going to flip our work. So let's just show you guys how to do that, and then I'll let you guys do the rest on your own. Now that we have slip stitched into that chain up of 1 space, we're going to do a chain up of 2 and flip our work. And that is it. From here, go ahead and repeat your star stitch row and your single crochet right after that, and then I'll meet you guys back. And now that we've got our 5 rows down, we're now going to start working on our cups. How we're going to start doing that is by doing a chain up of 1 and cut, and then from where our tail end is, we are going to figure out where the 2 middle stitches are, and then insert your stitch markers into there. And mine is into my 42nd and 43rd stitch. And now, looking at our work, making sure that it's flipped right side out and having the stitch marker faced up towards us, we're going to insert our hook into the left stitch that our stitch marker is into, so that we're going in the opposite direction of our last star stitch row. And then from there, insert your yarn onto your hook, pull through, and start this row off by doing a chain up of 2. Now we're going to have to start with doing a decrease, so we're going to start with a decrease of 2 half double crochets. So we're going to prepare for a half double crochet, go into that next stitch, pull through, into the stitch after that, pull through. We should have 4 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 4 of those loops. Once we have that, we're going to do a chain up of 1, and now we can get started on our star stitch. And to start off this star stitch, it'll be a little bit different than our first one, but still ultimately the same. What we're going to do is insert our hook into the chain 1 space that we have on top of our half double crochet. So insert your yarn into there and pull up a loop, so yarn over and pull through. The next stitch that we're going to insert a hook into is the last loop that we have into our half double crochet. Insert your hook into there, yarn over, pull up our second loop, and then we're going to insert our hook into the last loop that our previous stitch went into. So into this stitch, yarn over, pull through. Then we're going to pull up a loop into the next 2 stitches, and we'll have a total of 6 loops on our hook. So into that next stitch, pull through, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we have 1 more to do. Into that next stitch, pull through, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then just like before, we're going to yarn over and pull through all 6 loops on our hook and do a chain up of 1, forming the eye of our star stitch. And then from here, do your star stitches going all the way around, and then I'll meet you guys back when we have just one stitch left. We have made our way down with our star stitch row, and I have just one stitch left, and just to double check, we should have 2 less star stitches than our previous rows. But once we have that figured out, we will now start our decrease of 2 half double crochet. So what we will do is prepare for a half double crochet, insert our hook into that last stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then also into the stitch that we have our chain out of 2 coming out of. Insert into there, pull through. We should have 4 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops. From here we're going to do a chain up of 1 and flip our work and go in with our row of single crochets. Just to start this single crochet row off together, we will insert our hook into that first stitch that we have with 1 single crochet, and then we're going to put 1 single crochet into the next eye of our next star stitch, and then from here into the eye of the rest of our star stitches we will be putting 2 single crochets into there. And we'll maintain doing this going all the way down. Now that our single crochet row is complete, we can now go in with our cups. First, we're going to need to insert our stitch marker into a stitch where our mid underarm is, and we also need to make sure that it's an even number. My stitch marker is 7.5 inches or 19 centimeters in from the edge, and that's into the 26th stitch. And now we can get started on our cup. So what we're going to do from here is do a chain up of 1. Into the first 2 stitches, we're going to do a decrease of 2 single crochets. So insert into that first loop, pull through, into that next stitch, pull through. We should have 3 loops on our hook. From here, we're going to yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. And then from here, we're going to be putting 1 single crochet into every stitch that we have until we're just 1 stitch before our stitch marker, and then I'll meet you back. We are now 1 stitch away from our stitch marker, so we're going to do another decrease of 2 single crochets. Into that last stitch that we have right before our stitch marker, insert your hook, pull through, and then also insert your hook into that stitch that our stitch marker is in. Yarn over, pull through. Just like before, we should have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through 3. And now the first row of our cup is all done. To get started on the next row, we're going to chain up of 1, flip our work. And then we're going to start and end with a decrease of 2 single crochets, just like how we did for the previous row. So just to start this row off, we're going to insert, pull through, into the next stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3, and put 1 single crochet into every stitch until we have 2 stitches left, and then do your decrease of 2 single crochets into there. Maintain doing a decrease along both ends until our work comes up to a point, and then I'll meet you guys back when we have just 1 stitch left. Okay, now that we're back, we should have 1 stitch left into our cup, and next we're going to try on our piece and measure from the tip of our cup up and over our shoulder to where we want our strap to connect into the back. Next, we're going to try on our piece and measure from the tip of our cup going up and over our shoulders where we want our strap to connect into the back, and make sure it's 2 stitches. From the base of my cup, the stitch marker that I want my strap to attach to is into the 11th and 12th stitch, and my chain is going to be 12 inches or 31 centimeters, or that's going to be a total of 45 chains. Now that we have our chain, we will flip our work over and look at the back. making sure that our work is still flipped right side out, and we're going to slip stitch into the stitch that's on the right. We're doing that because the one stitch that we have into the cup is on the left, so when we single crochet back, our strap won't be twisted. So insert your hook into that stitch, and in order to single crochet back over our chain, we're going to slip stitch into that next stitch, the one on the left. From here, flip our work and put one single crochet into every chain that we have, making our way back across, and we will slip stitch it into this stitch together. And now that we have single crocheted our way down our chain, we are now ready to slip stitch it into the one stitch that we have into our cup. So into this one stitch that we have into the top of our cup, we're going to insert our hook, yarn over, and pull through everything. Once when we have that, you're going to yarn over, pull through, and cut. And now one of our cups and strap is all finished. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. We're just going to insert our hook into a different spot, and I will show you guys how to do that right now. Getting started on our second cup, we are going to insert our stitch marker into the same stitch that we inserted it into for the other cup. So like I said, mine was into the 26th stitch from the edge, so that is where this stitch marker is. And then from here, we're going to insert our hook into this stitch, do a decrease of 2 single crochets, put 1 single crochet into every stitch, and then decrease into the last 2. And then from there, everything else will be exactly the same. Put a decrease into the 2 last loops into every row, and then go in with the same strap, and then I will meet you guys back. We have just finished up going in with our other cup and our strap, and the last few things that we have to do is go in with our net so that we can weave in our corset later. The first thing we're going to do is insert our hook into the base of the strap along the inside of our cups. So I'm going to insert my hook into that stitch. Insert our yarn onto our hook and pull through, and then we're going to be putting 1 single crochet into every side single crochet and side half double crochet row until we reach the other side of where we're at, so the base of our strap along the other cup. So let's do the first single crochets together. We're going to start this off by doing a chain up of 1. Into this first side single crochet, we're going to insert our hook into that side loop and single crochet into that next side loop for our next side single crochet row. There's another. We're going to keep doing that, going all the way down, and I will meet you guys back once we get to this corner. Now that we've single crocheted all the way around, now we're just going to go in with our small row of nets. So from where we're at, we're going to chain out 2 and then flip our work. From here, we're going to skip 1 stitch and then single crochet into the stitch right after that. And then let's do that again. Chain 1, skip 1 stitch, single crochet into that second stitch, and that is forming our loops that we will later insert with our chain. We're going to keep doing this, going all the way around. Once we get to this corner, we're going to do a chain up of 1 and cut. And now that we are back, we have done our chain up of 1 and cut for our corset. I have already made my chain, which is a total of 135, and we can leave this as a bralette if you guys would like, or we can continue on with the bottom portion, and I'll show you guys how to do that right now. And now that we are back, what we're going to do from here is go in with a row of single crochets along the bottom. So we're going to turn our work over, grab our hook, and we're going to insert our hook into any one of these side double crochet loops, but I like to insert my hook right where my seam is in the back. From there, we're going to insert our yarn onto our hook, pull through, and do a chain up of 1. From here, we're going to put 2 single crochets into each of our side double crochet rows. So let's do that together. We're going to insert our hook into that next side double crochet row with a single crochet. And let's put 1 more into that same loop. So insert and single crochet. Let's do the next set with each other. We're going to insert our hook into that next side double crochet with 1 and then 2 single crochets. Keep doing this, going all the way around, and do a slip stitch into that chain up of 1 space, and then I'll meet you guys back. Now that we have single crocheted along the bottom of our border and slip stitched into that chain up of 1 space, we will pull some slack and switch out our hook to our 10mm hook. Insert your hook into that loop and pull tight. And from here, we are going to continue to do our star stitches and single crochet row until we get the total length that we want for this top. So I'm just going to remind you guys that when it comes to our star stitch row, we're going to do a chain up of 2, and we're going to start off just like that. And then maintain doing these same star stitches going all the way around until we get the length that we need. I'll meet you guys back when I have my length so I can let you know how many rows I went in with and my measurements as well. So I am back, and I have actually finished up the entirety of our piece, and I ended up having a total of 25 rows, or from the bottom of the waistband down to where I ended, 14 inches or 36 centimeters. And I did do a chain up of 1 and cut, and the last thing that we have to do here is just weave in all of our ends. Our ends are woven in, and our tunic, dress, I'm not quite sure what to call it, but it's done, and I'm very happy with it. Let me know in the comments if you'd make this as a bralette or full length like mine. I'd love to find out. There is a written pattern down below. Use offer code TCDDIY for discount off any $9.99 plus order, and enter this week's pattern giveaway by telling us what your favorite TV show of all time is and why. Good luck to everyone who enters. Also, if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up because it really helps us out. And be sure to share us on Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook, links down below. Link to our Etsy page is down there too if you want to buy this piece or any other piece on the channel. And be sure to favorite the shop so you don't miss out on new patterns and exclusive deals. As always guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one.